Okay, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Ms. Morgan, will you please call roll? Here.
Here.
Here. Okay, we do have a quorum. We're missing Ms. Cheeves and Mr. Smith, but we do have a quorum today. We have one order of business, a certificate of appropriateness for 173 to 187 West Main Street. And I presume, of course, that you guys are here to request your changes to be made. So Mr. Duke is not present at this moment, so if you'll go ahead and come on up to Ms. Morgan and sign in, and then we'll go ahead and let you present what you would like to have done. And I'm going to call you Brent until you tell me how to pronounce your last name.
The O silent. So it's just Meshlin.
Meshlin. Okay. I'm sorry, I did not remember that from last time. I'll probably just still call you Brent, if that's okay. Okay. If you'll just kind of give us an overview of the changes that you would like to make, and then we will have the opportunity to hear Mr. Duke and his staff report, and then have the opportunity to answer questions from the commission.
Okay. So we saw that there's above the windows currently, there is boards, basically plywood or what have you. And behind those boards, there's original windows. And so we wanted to keep those windows. However, a lot of them are broken and missing because they put AC units up in those window areas. So at this point, we tried to match. There's no matching we could find in the Tri-County area, called maybe 5 or 6 different places. So we're going to have to, the only solution we have to actually allow more light in those units and actually make the appearance better would be to put clear glass above. So what we're planning on doing is basically removing, there's 3 spots above each unit. And we're going to remove the boards from either side. If that makes sense. There's a picture there that kind of shows that. It's kind of hard to explain, but the picture shows it all. And so right above the door, there will still be kind of a decorative trim around it with the actual number of the unit right there. And then to the right and left will be the actual clear glass. That's above the doors. We're also planning on to make it look more symmetrical, to have the doors look all the same instead of having mismatched doors. There's 8 different doors, so we're going to do it all to have them look like 181, and we have a picture in there what 181 looks like. Along with that, we plan on putting a light next to each door, so that gives it more of a symmetrical look with a historic kind of look to the light, and then add a mail slot at the bottom of each door. So, and I think that's about the extent of it.
Okay, if you'll have a seat, we'll let Mr. Duke come up with a staff report, and then we may have some questions for you. Hello, Mr. Duke. We started without you.
That's fine. That's great. But that's not working, is it? Somebody would just take their mic and bend it out this direction, because unfortunately this one's not picking up. So the request you have before you is a request for addresses 173 through 187 West Main Street. That is has been known around since I've been in town as the Meeks Building, but I believe that the official designation is the Bell Thomas Building, built in 1921. It is a contributing structure to the National Register District and has basically remained mostly unaltered. And it was contributing in 1984, and if you'll recall, we had a resurvey done by Thomas and Associates in 2007. It was considered contributing then. So I believe Mr. Mechlin has outlined pretty well for you everything in their application. You can see in the staff report that we've gone through and looked at basically their request from the standpoint of storefronts, from the standpoint of lighting, and doors and entrances. And we find what they propose to do to be mostly in keeping with your ordinance. A purist approach would be to try to save the textured glass that's basically in the transom lights above the doors.
Is that frosted glass?
It's really it's not what you would think of as purely frosted. It actually has a texture or a pattern to it. Probably not as been described. It's probably not made anymore. Not easily replaced. If there were pieces that they could take from one or two and try to cobble that together, I would say that would be a good way to try to go, and I think they would be agreeable to that. But in this case, most of that has been either damaged or is missing, been painted over several times. But going back with glass is a close approximation, and would certainly allow a good bit more light into those spaces, and be very close to what was there originally. So I think, at a minimum, the openings or the appearance of the openings, the panels are basically being preserved, and even with that center panel being basically a wooden panel with some kind of molding framing it, that opening or that space, as you would look at in the storefront, is being preserved. So that is in keeping with your guidelines. The lighting that's been discussed is pretty plain and unobtrusive, and that's keeping with your guidelines. And the doors, trying to keep those, if not keeping the original doors, keeping them in appearance and restoring them is in keeping with your guidelines. I'm happy to say that staff recommends approval of all these items.
Thank you, Mr. Duke. Are there any questions for Mr. Duke at this time? No?
Are there any
Oh.
awnings on? Is there one awning?
There's one awning, and it's on 173. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Is that going to stay?
For now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You said that you'd replace the middle window above each door with a wood frame panel. Can you give some more information about that?
Currently, there is plywood.
Mm-hmm.
And so all we're going to do is pull the plywood off and put a more solid piece of wood and then frame it out so it looks
Not plywood.
not plywood.
Good. Good.
The not plywood look is good.
Are you, so until the other places are rented, you won't be doing, of course, any other signage, what did you just call the thing? Awnings, thank you. Signage, awnings, that kind of thing. We're not worried about any of that right now. Okay, we just want you to do as much as you can while you're in here rather than having to come back, but yeah, totally understand that. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Is one occupied?
It is not occupied.
It is not, but that awning will stay?
For now,
For
the
the,
awning
for
will
the,
stay.
okay,
Depending on the future tenant, whether they want it or not.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are there any further questions? Are we still contemplating?
I make a motion that we approve a certificate of appropriateness for the changes to 173 through 187 as presented in writing.
Okay, a motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and your requests have been approved. Thank you, and good luck.
Glad y'all are doing it.
Okay, now we do have some minutes to approve, Ms. Morgan. We have minutes from, bless you, from March, June, October, and December. Is there a motion to accept these minutes as presented?
I do accept that my name needs to be spelled right.
Okay, we will take care of that.
A instead of an E.
Alyssa, get that.
I think it's the first set.
It's spelled the German way, not the English way.
No, that one was right. One of them I saw, everybody started spelling my name with an E. Now, somewhere in there's an E.
I'm just glad you read those, Gray.
I did read them. Where? On the computer? Let me see. I might be wrong.
She may have already fixed it. Okay, so once Mr. Gray Price's name is corrected,
Well, it must be corrected already.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and the minutes are approved. If Mr. Duke, is there any further business? Okay. Is there a move to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and we are adjourned. Thank you very much.